So one thing that's been grabbing my attention has been Nier Automata, or
I've heard
Automata.
nothing but good things.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It is... are either of you familiar with the original Nier?
No.
So, weird little factoid is the original Nier released on PS3 and 360 in Japan. And both of those versions you played as... I'm pretty sure the game was the same, but you played as a different character. One was like... the PS3 version was like a super anime boy character kind of thing.
Okay.
And then the 360 one was like this big, brutish... warrior-looking guy sort of thing. We got the 360 version here in America, and that's all we got. So people know Nier, and they know the big, brutish guy.
Okay.
And it was clear that they were like, well, Americans aren't going to buy this game if it has the anime character, but they will if it's the big, meathead-looking guy.
I think they're selling us, once again, a little short there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the original Nier was sort of it was a third-person action-adventure, kind of Zelda-ish, but it was kind of open world in some ways. It was okay. The battle system was mediocre. The world was really interesting, though. And the gameplay... It's hard to pin a genre on this game because in the original Nier... It's going to be like third person, behind the shoulder kind of thing. Then you'll get into some dungeons and it'll turn overhead like classic Zelda. And then it'll turn into a text adventure. And then it'll turn into a shooter. And it does all this weird stuff and it all makes sense.
Huh.
Now, Nier Automata does the exact same thing. Now, I said with the original Nier that the battle system wasn't very good. The fighting wasn't very good. This time around, they got Platinum on there. And the fighting is really good.
Yeah, they're good at hack and slash stuff.
Yes. It plays a lot like Bayonetta.
Awesome.
More of an open world kind of thing. At any time, you have this little like robot drone around you that you can just hold down R1 and he'll start just shooting nonstop.
You get a little mag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to reload or anything like that. They have like this super powerful charge shot that'll have to reload in between. But you can just you can take it slow.
Like a Mega Man thing.
Yeah, you can take it slow, and if you're not good at those kind of fighting games, you can just hang back and typically just slowly eat away at an enemy with that. And there's all these different computer chips that you find that you can program, because you play as an android. There's androids and there's robots in this
2B?
game. Yes,
2B
you play as
and
2B. 2B and 9S are the two characters. You only play as 2B. 9S just follows you around.
PNO3?
Well,
Yes.
Okay.
I heard you go through the game several times.
Yes, which I'll get to that.
My bad.
No, it's fine. So, some other things that you can do in there is with the computer chips, they all have attributes to it.
Okay.
And you can create your own loadouts with all of these attributes.
Oh.
And they all have costs. And you can find ones with less costs. And you can fuse those together to make more powerful ones. But they might cost more unless you collect a bunch of cheap ones. And if you go and buy them at the store, they're ones that take up a lot of space. So you can get okay, I can just use my credits and buy this stuff, but it's going to take up a bunch of space. But if I go out and find them, I can find really rare ones that take up a third of the space. And then I can maximize those out and fit all this other stuff. And it looks like in old Windows or Windows 98 or Windows 2000 on the defragment screen, where it would have this layers of what things are. And it would you actually have that sort of screen. You have to move things around. There's a quick button to it'll condense everything down and give you the space to lock things in. But I love that. I've spent hours just tweaking it. And you can have 3 different loadouts. The only problem is you can't switch to those on the fly. It'd be great if I could have an aggressive one, and then after I get hit, I can switch to one where suddenly it'll start just regaining health on its own. But you have to hit pause. Hopefully you're on the ground when you hit pause. Otherwise, it just goes to a blank pause screen. That's a little annoying thing. But yeah, so this game, you're an android in the year 5000 or something like that. Humans have left the Earth and they're living on the moon. And they've sent these androids to fight all the aliens that scared them off of Earth.
Okay, of course.
And It's really bizarre. It's one of the more bizarre games I've ever played. Within like the first hour, I witnessed. Okay, so there's androids and robots. Yeah, and the little robots, they basically have the same body type as like R2D2.
Yeah, I saw someone's video. I didn't know if it was yours or my coworkers because I have you guys.
I haven't uploaded any videos.
Okay, then it was my coworker. He put up a video of those little robots freaking out.
Yeah, they're really weird because the idea is that these robots were brought in here by the aliens, and the robots have just been adapting human behavior because they're just living on the planet. There's no one else here. They're reading things. They're seeing the history of humans and just adopting that. So they're just doing weird shit, and they act like the nuclear family. And like, there's certain things where it's just like, I'm the dad bot, I'm the wife bot, these are child bots, and they have like that robotic voice, but they still talk like people. And there's a part that I go into where I'm like, and my jaw is constantly dropping just how weird this game is. And I'm going through this area, and I'm like chasing down this one, and it's just like they're screaming like, "Please don't hurt me!" And one's like, "They don't feel pain. Why are they saying this?" They're like, "They're just programmed to say that." And then you get in this big old clearing, and there's a giant robot orgy going on.
Oh.
And they're just like, make babies, like, and it's just like, and they're just like weirdly humping each other like a child would like take two dolls and just hit against each other.
That's not what I saw.
And then they're all freaking out, and then they're just like, they all just start saying the same word, and they're all just around you, and they're all saying weird things, but then they all just start saying the same thing, and they're all just like, this cannot continue, and it's creepy. They're all saying this around you. Then they merge into this giant pod.
That's the thing I saw right there.
And
that
give
part.
Birth to an anime android. It was naked, but it didn't have junk.
Yeah.
So,
that's the recording that my coworker put up. He put that little segment up of the robots creating that thing that gave birth to the android.
That's a hell of a thing.
And then there's
to not have any context for.
And then there's but when you're playing the game, there's context. Like,
well,
there's
I know,
nothing.
like, if you just see that, that's all you see. And
that's why I was like, I don't know what I just saw.
Like, that's pretty wild.
There's a robot Disneyland.
Of course.
Where they don't do anything there. They don't attack, but they shoot.
Have animatronic Lincoln?
No, but they're all dressed in like clown outfits, and they'll have the enemies that like normally shoot guns or shoot like the weird balls at you that like you have to dodge and stuff like that.
Yes, weird balls.
Yeah, but then they're shooting out balloons now. But if you attack them, they'll all turn on you.
Okay.
So you can go through this whole thing and not touch any of them. You can go up and talk to some of them. But there's one that's like you have to like get these stamps from them. And some of them are just like, would you like a stamp? Sure, here's the stamp. And then you get to one where it's like, I love stamps, I love stamps, I love stamps. And then it's like, it gives you the stamp. And then one's just like, all androids must die.
What is this game?
Oh, God, it's so weird.
I really want to play it.
I love you, Japan.
But, okay, so, and along with all this, they made their own language specifically for the soundtrack. Ooh. So all of the vocals are a made-up language just to do that. Soundtrack's really good. Like, I've got it stuck in my head. I can't say any of the things. It's just sort of like da da da, da. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know the words.
It's just like any song from Persona, you know.
Yeah, sure. Well, that they're still saying English, but they're saying it like at a speed that Japanese people would sing, which doesn't match up at all.
Oh, well, the Digimon game's super Japanese.
Oh, sure.
Super.
But this game is so good. It looks like
King, don't sue me.
I'm sorry.
Had to throw that in.
It looks like a PS3 game.
Okay.
It's an ugly game.
That's alright.
The character models look good. They have some weird designs with it, which apparently I know that they're going to explain why they look like this. Your main character 2B, she's like this anime girl.
I think she looks cool.
Well, yeah, no, she looks badass. But she's in like this leather and lace ensemble, like this dress thing that you're constantly seeing up her skirt, sort of thing. It's just like how it is.
Japanese,
sweet.
There's that whole thing with it. I know they're going to explain it, but yeah, I haven't quite got to it. I put about 12 hours in. There's a lot of side quests. It's a big sort of open world thing, but Japanese open world where it is big maps connected by little threads.
Yep.
Where you go through tunnels to different areas.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. That's how Digimon is.
Yeah. They still, other than, I mean, Zelda was probably one of the first ones that really got it. But yeah, they still haven't figured out open worlds quite yet. But yeah, so I haven't gotten to there yet, but apparently, I mean, there is an ending for every letter of the alphabet in this game.
Okay. Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I just heard that there's a lot of endings.
Yeah, there is a lot of endings. And the game is about, like, you play through the ending, and then I guess you get thrown back some point, and then things change. And as you keep going through these endings, and it has to deal, there's a lot of philosophical stuff on there, which I'm really digging. They're referencing, there's a lot of reference to even some obscure philosophers. And I was really big into philosophy years ago, so it was like, I'm seeing these things and I'm like, okay, that's really cool. I know exactly what they're referencing here. I wonder how far they're going to go into that, and they go into it, like in these weird tangents that they do, because you're talking about robots that are becoming sentient, and it has to deal with like the idea of what is life.
So you have nihilist robots and existentialist robots, and okay.
No, there was a funny little thing that I don't want to go too far into it, but there's a part that you get to where these robots think that they are putting on a play for Romeo and Juliet, but they sort of got they only really got the parts.
That's so weird. They're putting on Romeo and Juliet, or they're putting on a play for the characters from the play Romeo and Juliet.
No. They are doing Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
There are these robots there, but it
of
seems
course
like
they're doing
the
that.
only part that they understood was that they killed each other in the end, and they just play on that. And it gets, at first it's like, what's going on? And then you start to like, it just keeps going, and the whole time you're like, what the fuck is happening? And then you're like, oh wow, still, what the fuck was that?
What is this game?
It's crazy.
I want to play this game.
know,
It's
I
really
really
good.
wanna
It's
play
really
it.
good. Yeah, if the fighting was bad, I don't think anybody would be talking about it though,
Yeah,
because it's still so bizarre. It's an ugly game. The soundtrack's good, but if they kept the fighting from the original Nier, no one would be talking about it.